We've talked about interval notation quite a bit in this class so far, and interval notation is a great way to describe intervals. With the functions we look at, one thing we're going to be seeing is there are these increasing, decreasing, and constant intervals that we'll be talking about. So we've got this picture, got this graph here to just show you what parts are increasing, what parts are decreasing, and what ones are constant. So here's what we're talking about here. Increasing interval is one where if x goes up, f of x goes up. Notice that in each one of these it says if x goes up. That means that we are talking left to right always. So with interval notation, we always go left to right. With intervals, we always go left to right. And so think of them that way. It's a temptation to see this one, this arrow is going down and say, oh, okay, that's a decreasing interval. But we're talking about left to right. Now, with this one, also, we want to just do this one thing at a time. So I'm going to start with the increasing intervals. I'm just going to color code these. Here's one that's increasing up to 3, 6. Then we've got another one here that's increasing. And then we've got another one here that's increasing. And so what I would like to do is to describe those intervals based on increasing, decreasing, and constant, based on their interval notation. Let's also do decreasing. Decreasing goes from here to here, from here to here, and then from here to here. The last one is constant. That one, the only difference is that it's just constant intervals are always just horizontal lines. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can use interval notation to describe each one of these. Now, one thing to keep in mind is notice that all these points are having, they're achieving their value at those points. And so what I would suggest then is that means we're going to use square brackets. Now, if it's something infinite, like going back to the left forever, that's going to be a rounded bracket. So one of the increasing intervals here is negative infinity to, well, what number do we use? Here's where we have to make a decision. Now, interval notation is left to right. When we're talking left to right in terms of the graph, that is only x values. And so what I would do here is just to get rid of some of the information we don't need, let's cross out the y values. We don't need the y values to describe the intervals in this case. That should make it a little easier just to picture too. So we go negative infinity to this x value of 3. So that's one of our intervals, and we're going to put a square bracket right there. Another green one is 6 to 7. So we've got that, and then finally we've got the last green one is 9 to 12. All square brackets on those, but that's just those are the 3 different increasing intervals in this particular problem. Decreasing, we've got 3 of those as well. If we're using x values, we go 3 to 4. So we're going to use square brackets 3 comma 4. Then we go 7 to 9. And then the last one on the end here is 12, and it just keeps going, so we'll do 12 to infinity. With an infinity, we do a rounded bracket. There's only one left, and that is the constant, and that's the straight line that you see here, the horizontal line. And so that one, there's only one. It is just 4 comma 6.